The South African Laureus Foundation celebrated 20 years this year of using sport for socio-economic change. Sun City is playing host to the two-day event where elite sport and business gurus will compare notes on how to continue to see exponential growth in the network of helping underprivileged boys and girls break the shackles out of poverty through sport. Our reporter Khotso Sello is live on the ground from the Northwest. He is joined by former Springbok team manager and part of the iconic 1995 World Cup winning team, Morne du Plessis, and Laureus Sports for Good chairperson. Khotso?
Good evening, Valen. Yes, I mean, sport is such a powerful tool to effect change globally. And I mean, we can take a story like Siya Kolisi, who grew up in humble beginnings in the Eastern Cape and blew up to stardom and becoming one of the world icons. And I think that's the spirit of Laureus, where you go out to Limpopo to find that Khotso who's going to play at that Wimbledon. You're going to go out to the Northwest to find a Tete Dijane, who recently won the Comrades Marathon, and of course going down to the Eastern Cape to find a Makazole Mapimpi, to tell his kind of story. And somebody who's been part of this foundation for a very, very long time is, the chairman of the Sport for Change in South Africa for Laureus is Mr. Morne du Plessis. Morne, a good 20 years. It flew by quickly.
Yes, Khotso, I was actually saying today, I was scribbling my notes that I would say a 20-year-long celebration, but I stopped with the word long. I wanted to put a 20-year short, because it seems just like yesterday when we started this dream of using sport globally. We started in Monaco, where President Mandela made the famous speech, which is used universally now. The word sport has the power to change the world, and it unites people, and it brings hope, and that's used, and we are very privileged that's used globally across the world, where people realize the value of sport. And if I can maybe just correct you a little bit, we want a Siya Kolisi, we want a SA Afrika, we want somebody, Lucas Khadebi. If that happens, it's brilliant. But it's the other 99% of young people who maybe won't be huge stars, but their lives will be improved, either through better discipline, better understanding, literacy, not doing drugs, whatever the social component is. That is the real heart of the work. So in South Africa, 20 years, 60 projects we have interacted with, some big, some small. Peace Players International for 20 years, a Durban-based basketball project. Fight with Insight, the Joburg boxing program. At the moment, we look after 35 programs in this country. And in this country alone, in the last year, 40,000 kids have been interacted with. Now, not every kid is going to turn out. We can't hope for that. But if we can influence 50% of those kids, imagine the difference to their lives. And yes, a Siya Kolisi, if that's a byproduct, it's an incredible byproduct, but it's not the central aim. The central aim is to make better human beings.
And in terms of tracking these kids that graduate from your programs, have you guys been able to get it right? I mean, earlier on when we were sitting in the conference room there, I saw Nasi Pielu. Just, take us through those kinds of stories where, there's a feeling of hope and, being able to be tangible and saying that's, what we can do.
Can happen. Yeah. I mean, we have youngsters. I mean, the CP is a global leader, and she came through a program. We can tell 100 stories like that. We can tell stories of Nkota Madonda, who now heads up his own sports marketing firm in the world. He came through a program. There are surfers who have their own surf shops that came through the Waves for Change. I can go on, and it is about stories. And business invest in us. They invest in our philosophy. That's what they're investing as. The Mercedes gentleman today, AB, mentioned our friend. He said, we don't partner with you, we don't sponsor you, we invest in your philosophy. And that's what, and business wants to see results. Business wants to, so we do track. We have universities that track. And in the world, we have 300 projects that we look after globally. But I'm glad and proud to say South Africa is the largest single country looking after projects. We have the most projects in this country, globally. Yeah. And one might say we need it more than a country like Switzerland needs it, but we can't stop now. We have to take this forward.
And not only is South Africa, the most busiest country, but it's also one of the oldest foundations in the world. And, we are seeing rain come down. And in Sesotho, they say, and hopefully these rains will continue to bless the laureus world.
Thank you very much, Khotso. Speaking about rain, Stephen, there has been a lot of rain here in Gauteng. And after the way that the land has baked in the heat, it is just a remedy for some flash flooding, isn't it?